Well, hello, hello, and welcome to Spotlight on a Coaching Business Show. I am your host, Kat Knecht, and today I am continuing. We've had a series that I love how the year folds out, right? We started with looking at vision, and then we went into looking at your marketing systems and what was going to be in your marketing systems that were going to move your vision forward. We cleaned out some closets. We've done some spring cleaning. And now we're into summer, right? We're into summer. And I got to thinking about dreaming because I think of summer as a very dreamy time. Even though I work pretty hard most summers, I just got to say. But I think of it as a dreamy time. I go on vacation. I like to sit at the beach. So I got sparked with this idea. My birthday, I had a little birthday party. My dear friend Jody Bogart, thank you, Jody. She organized and hosted a little birthday party for me, and she gave me some choices about what I wanted to do for my birthday, which I love too. And I chose this something that she and I had actually talked about. I'd forgotten that we talked about this. This is all going to tie into my topic. As we had been walking around where I live in Ojai, and looking at stores and having some fun. And we walked into this tea shop. It's called Magic Hour. And they've just opened like a place you can sit and actually literally have like an English tea with different sandwiches and little sweets all in a nice little tower thing. And some beautiful, she has the most amazing tea. I just love her tea. And I thought, oh, would it be fun to come here? And Jody, at one point, she's an artist and she is a life coach, and she is currently is a tattoo artist. She also paints and draws, and she's done a lot of graphics for me in the past. Anyway, I was the leader of something called the Women's Alchemy Group, and she was one of the members of that. And I said, wouldn't it be fun to have a reunion here? Maybe she said it. I don't know. One of us said, with the Alchemy Circle. I could just imagine it. I actually could just imagine. And I'd imagined us all sitting in this corner booth and talking and how sweet it would be. So that was one of the things she offered up for my birthday. Would I like to have a reunion of the Alchemy Circle and have the tea here as a part of my birthday celebration? So I said yes, and it was fantastic. I had so much fun. It was fun reminiscing with the women. We pulled some tarot cards, oracle cards. We yacked. We shared deep things and fun things. We laughed really hard. There was one moment, though, there was a woman there, and she asked me, she said, Kat, are you living you're living a life that is your wildest dream? And it really made me pause because I know a lot. So starting as a coach and other personal growth work often, and especially if you're into manifesting and, that type of thing, this is a question. Wouldn't you like to live? What would it be like to live a life beyond your wildest dreams? I used to dream about living a life beyond my wildest dreams. But when I heard the question, again, something in me went, huh, that question hits me really, really differently than it used to. And maybe it's just the stage of life that I'm in or where I'm in particular in my life. I thought about it. I thought, wow, a lot of dreams have come true in my life. Oh my gosh, so many. And the life that I'm living right now I could spend a couple of hours just talking to you about all the things that I now have and have created that once were just a dream. Many, many things. This coaching business that I have is one. My marriage, have elements of my family, my new house, some friends. I mean, even that Alchemy Circle group meeting was something like, wow, could that ever really happen? We could all get back together again. I went to song camp last year with Todd Snyder and learned how to write a song. That was beyond my wildest dreams. But I thought, oh, so often we think, and I'm one of the proponents of this. If you listen to my show or read my blog or know me at all, I love visioning. And I have lived my life by a vision now. Absolutely how I've created my life. It's been about 25 years that I've just created a vision and been used the visioning process to make a life that's based on what comes through me in a vision, honoring my values. So after all of this time, I guess what I came to was my life is always, a dream. I'm always creating and living from a dream in sense. Not, but I didn't feel like it was my wildest dream. And it didn't feel like it was beyond anything. I don't know if this is making sense. I'm hoping so because I really want to bring this to you, especially when you're thinking about your coaching business. Because so often now I'm teaching a course right now, a balance course for the Coactive Training Institute. Coactive Training Institute, yes, that's what it's called. I'm teaching certification for that organization. I have clients who are going through their certification program. I have many, many coaches who come to me and they come with a dream. And I think part of it is this, this is beyond their wildest dreams in a sense that they could have a business, they could make money and and actually get to do this coaching thing, which you all know is so super fun to do. It's fun and it's fulfilling because it's a service that really, really helps people in a way I don't know of anything else that does. It's portable. I can go on vacation or, on a trip and I can still do my work. I can have days off or afternoons off. I can manipulate my schedule. It has freedom in it. It has my own creativity, gets to be expressed. I've got to get to write a book and do this podcast and write blogs and do talks and learn new things that are going to be applicable to my work. So many things are of a dream. I get to even the pieces that might have seemed hard at once are so much fun. Marketing, I get to create marketing messages and enroll new people, get to know new people and show them how they can have the coaching business of their dreams and really get to help them. Actually, it works. And so they have the coaching business that they came for. And I watch them flourishing in that business and they report things. We just got a report in the community today. One of the women, she did a speech yesterday. That was her thing. She wanted to do speeches and it went really well. And she had her lead magnet ready and she met new people and she has new contacts. I hear those things and all of it sparks something in me. It really, really, really sparks joy. And there's not a but. Okay, here we go. Here's another piece. So right now, as I'm recording this podcast, I have not been able to walk for a month. Walking is my joy. Walking is what I usually do every day for exercise, for nature. Curtis and I walk together and have deep conversations, and I love to walk. I love to walk fast. I love to walk far. An hour a day just charges me up. So I injured myself. I can shuffle. I can hobble, but I haven't really been able to walk. And yet, I went to a music festival, the Strawberry Music Festival last week, which up until now, this year, walking was part of my joy of the festival because there's all these stages and you go camping. And so you walk from your campsite to the stage and then to another stage. And most days I would walk 5 to 10 miles, I'm going to say, between walking and going back to my camper. And I love that. So what was it going to be like to not walk? I'm on theme here. If you're worried that Kat's losing the theme, don't worry. We're on theme. We're on target. Guess what? It was still a dream come true for me. The music was so beautiful and our friends Kathy and Steve were there and that was fun. I got to talk to new people. I met a woman named Susie who just found out about the festival the day before. She was like 26 years old. She decided to get in her car and just drive up to it. Drive 8 hours just because she said, I listened to a Strawberry Fields song and then I listened to Donovan And Donovan said, "Follow your dreams." And so I did. This was her dream coming true, driving 8 hours to come and be with beautiful people and beautiful music. So all of that was informing me. When the question came, I was like, well, a dream looks different to me now than it used to. I used to think of dreams, and I'm putting this in the space right now because I know it's really easy to think of a dream as everything just works out. It's all we do. We think of it's just like magic, and there's it's I think it's over the top, over the top. We think of dreams as being over the top. Sometimes they are, but often, if almost all the time. So some dreams over the top, yes, and those are great. But just as great are those dreams that have a challenge in them. Those dreams that there's failure, dreams that there's something hard that you have to work at to make the dream a reality. There's some pain you have to face about yourself, about the world, something maybe about your past, a way you've never grown before, that now you're being required to grow. That sometimes a dream has with it, oh, in order to have that, I also need to there's something else that I'm gonna need to create or a way I'm gonna need to grow. So it's not the same for me anymore when I think about I'll bring it to conscious creation. What is my dream, my wildest dream really is to continually create what I want in my life in a way that's healthy for me, brings me joy and spaciousness, freedom. My creativity I get to play. And maybe right at the heart of that is I get to be myself, the most of myself that I can possibly be. For me, personally, I do that. My dream is to do that in my work, to do that wherever I go, so that there's no lines where I show up and how I show up. That's everywhere. If it's with a client, if it's leading a course, then that's how I show up. This is as me. I'm talking my truth. I'm bringing out my full expression. And I'm doing it intentionally. Here's another part of a dream for me. I say no to things. So think about that for a minute. You think about, in quotes, your wildest dream. This is I'm teaching this in the course I'm leading right now, so it's fresh in my mind. What do you need to say no to? What do you need to say no to in order to, as I'm saying, to actually create what you want fully from your authentic self and in a way that's going to work for you as an individual? I learned this part of the lesson really early on. I'm very grateful because there was a time when I'm going to say big dreams. And I didn't know the piece I'm telling you now. I just went for the big dream without considering who am I? Like, what's actually going to work for me? Use my strengths. Allow me to honor those values that I just said around spaciousness and freedom and joy and playfulness. I created a lot of dreams come true. They're ones that I think about work that I've had. With the Postal Service, there was a time, my wildest dreams, I couldn't even imagine I was going to be able to climb the ladder in a very short period of time and be on an executive team and calling the shots. And, my direct report was the whole district manager of Philadelphia, Gettysburg area. It was like, what? Little old Kathy Karras was my name at the time. Really could do that. And I did it. But I got there and I found out, oh yeah, well, that was good. But it's not it was a dream, but it didn't include all the things I'm talking about here today, right? That was when I found coaching, luckily, and even then, So this is why I'm talking to all of you who are creating your coaching businesses. I had an idea that there wasn't going to be the hard part. I had a thought that maybe this dream wasn't going to include the challenges. And you might be laughing right now because maybe you were smarter than me and you knew that and you know this. And it's not like a one-time challenge. It's like that's a part of the dream, is that in order for me to grow, and as I grow, what is the dream changes because I'm growing and I'm learning new things and I'm seeing, oh, I think there's something. It's not the chasing the shiny objects where you just keep moving from thing to thing. This is about real, true growth. And after you've created something, because I did learn that, really put my roots down and create solid, then, okay. Like I trained and I went to seminary. I became an interfaith minister. It was a lot of work. And I put huge buckets of time into it, studying and practicing and learning how to give sermons and learning how to give a memorial service and learning how to do a wedding and learning how to do a baby blessing and a home ritual. And I did all of it. I did all of those things. I learned how to do them all. And there was a big challenge in it. And it was a dream for me. And the dream is still there. But the form of that dream changed as I did the things that I thought were going to be, oh, it's going to be that. Like one thing I did was I traveled around the country and I did sermons at New Thought churches all over the country. And I did workshops at many of them. I loved giving the sermons. I loved it. I really, really did. I wrote a book called The Soul Search, and I took my book with me and I sold the book and did a workshop around the soul search. It was a whole business model that I thought I would love. I thought that's my wildest dream. I'm going to be just traveling all over the world and doing sermons. What I found was that part of it was my dream. I love giving sermons. I love giving talks and writing them. That's why I love this podcast. I love writing and speaking truth and helping people grow. What I didn't love was I found that a lot of times people would listen to my sermons and I got acknowledgement for it and for them, and people were touched and they told me they were good. That was a great sermon. Oh my gosh. And the way you made me laugh and it was good. And my ego got stroked a lot, but it wasn't fulfilling for me, because fulfilling is when somebody comes up and says, you said something, and this happened occasionally. I remember once so distinctly, I did a sermon on self-love. And one of the instructions, I gave a whole thing on it. And one of I always gave a homework, just like being a coach. I coached from the pulpit, let's say. And the homework was to put on your mirror words, I love you. So that when you looked in the mirror, you saw the words, I love you. And I had one person who listened to that sermon and he called me up. He actually booked a session because he wanted to tell me the meaning of that for him. That it changed his life. His wife, he said, my wife would tell you I'm not the same, because I actually got it. I really learned what self-love is like, what it feels like, what it looks like, how it impacts me and others. So it did happen, but it was occasional. It wasn't like I want to take all that I have learned and the message I have to bring people about conscious creation and how possible it is for every single person who wants something to make it a reality. And I want to help them get there. I want to help them do the work and actually face the challenges, is part of what I love. Part of my dream has become, I have challenges, I face them, and my dream gets bigger and broader and richer. And I want to help you do the same thing. And that includes facing, this actually might not work for me. Not the whole, what is it? Kit and caboodle. Not, oh, I can't have a coaching business that succeeds. No, not that, but maybe a way that you've thought it's going to be, or a time frame that you have in your mind. Or again, like me, a lack of challenges or a lack of feeling like you're going to need help. You're actually going to need help to make a coaching business a reality. You're not going to be able to do it on your own. And there will be things you won't be able to do because you're human. And that's kind of the good news, bad news. We all need somebody to help us. We need to get training. We need to get information. We need some things that to just be handled for us because we're really, really bad at it. I've discovered many of those things. My business partner and husband, Curtis, and I were laughing about this the other day because we have found so much in our business partnership as well as our marriage, but in our business partnership, so specifically, what he loves, the details, the specifics. He loves creating the software that makes things work. And I can listen to him talk about it for about 10 minutes. And I can very, very much appreciate that he does it because it makes our business run, but I can't do it myself. And I'm not interested in doing it myself and I'm not good at it. I have somebody who helps me with my scheduling because I found I'm like have like a dyslexic piece around scheduling. I was always bungling things up and scheduling 2 people at one time and it's something, no matter what. It doesn't hold in my head right. And I have a business that depends on scheduling. So I didn't think about that when I thought of my business, my coaching business, my wildest dream. It was not that, oh man, I'm going to have to face some challenges. I'm going to have to rearrange my thinking about what I do so that I can fully be present to it, to what it is that I am bringing to this world, and I can enjoy it, and it matches. And my soul says yes to it most of the time. And I'll put some things in here. Like I've thought about this. There's the way I've structured my business and what I've chosen to do and not do. I chose to be a leader for the Coactive Training Institute and not to be a minister at Unity Church. I had a choice at one point to go in one direction or another. I've chosen not to be an executive coach. I could have been. I was an executive. I could have chosen that path. I knew it back then. I was like, gosh, my postal service paid but big bucks for executives to have the executives coached on my team. I could have followed right in those footsteps, but I didn't want to. It wasn't my thing. I could have made probably way more money than I've made and that I'm making now because I'm choosing my dream according to what feels right to me, what is, we use the word resonant, fulfilling, because I have a family. I have wonderful children and grandchildren. I have friends. I love enjoying nature. I love decorating my house. I love writing. Writing the book that I wrote took me hundreds and hundreds of hours and writing it and rewriting it and creating the courses I've created. And the way that I created them, I did it in a way that took a long, long time because I wanted to do it right and I wanted it the way I knew it was going to be good. And that didn't mean it was going to be as lucrative as some way I might have done it. That, and then I have a whole piece, I'm not dissing the money piece. I work to organize my work so that I have a good living and I'm doing what I love and I'm also taking good care of myself. I'm going to take a breath so I want to just let that land with you. I want you to be thinking about what is your dream right now? This is where I'm going to land this. Because the other piece of dreaming is we do it about the future. And again, I do this a lot with people, and it's important. But we can also dream about right now. What is your dream for today? What is your dream for this week? I had to totally rearrange my dream when I hurt my leg, and I found that it was actually really good for me to go, okay, what? I can't walk around very much. What's the dream right now? Given all that I have, given what I can't do right now, given the limitations, I guess that's what I'm saying. Yes, it's good to dream and say, if I had no limits, here's what I would do. But I'm also going to put the limits in, not the saboteur limits, not the doubting of yourself limits, but let's say some true ones, like I have with my leg. Right? I cannot walk, so what can I do? How can I enjoy a music festival? I have limitations. There are some Limitations that come about because of fulfillment, because I like to do things slowly. It actually makes me happy. Things work out better when I'm slow. So what is the dream for right now? And use all of the same questions for yourself, all of those same coaching skills. Right? What is it you really want to make happen this summer? What's the dream? What's the summer dreaming? So that in fall, you're like, oh, I did that. And maybe the dream is to drop some things, to put some things down and pick them back up come Labor Day weekend here in the United States, whatever fall holiday marks it for you. So that's what I'm going to encourage you to do. And those of you who are in my community, we're going to be playing with this and looking at this. And I'm excited for the summer dreaming. What is your dream right now? What is your summer dream? What can we make happen together as a community? Because that's, I believe, the best dreams are those that we fulfill together, right? I have a dream. That's my dream. That's my dream for right now, is that we will do this together. All right. Thank you once again for listening to my show. If you have questions, if you would like to know more about joining my community so you can do some summer dreaming, we have a workshop, we have a 21-day challenge coming up. I have a year-long program I am beginning to unfold that has everything in it a coach needs to go from coach and training or startup to sustainable success as a coaching stage. So if you are a coach in training or you are in startup and you really want to have a business that is sustainable, it will support you and bring you joy the way I'm talking about right now, I encourage you to contact me. Go to my website, sign up for a consultation. I love talking to people about their coaching business. I would love to talk with you. Okay, I'll talk to you next time. Bye.